Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers. Now, the data is in, and with the current inventory challenges that we're facing for homes around the nation, there has been an increased dependence on new home builders to give us additional inventory so that our housing market comes back into balance and people can afford to live again in a house that they own. But the problem is home builders are cutting corners like crazy right now, and it appears that no one is doing anything about it. And today we're going to go into a few things. We're going to go into the labor market in new construction. We'll go over the ratings for the top 3 new home builders. We'll talk about the 10 reasons why there's poor quality of construction. And then we'll end this video out by digging into an article that is going to break down why new home builders are cutting corners right now. And if you guys can, please, for all of this effort, like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, shoot me a comment below. But either way, I hope you enjoy. One of the issues are that new home builders quite simply cannot find enough quality and skilled workers. Not only do we have a lack of quality skilled workers, they also are increasing, despite what you guys are seeing in the headlines. New home builders are actually increasing construction, not decreasing, at least the homes that are currently under construction.
Reports showing construction employment jumped in May, with the industry adding 25,000 workers. Yahoo Finance's Danny Romero looking into this. And Danny, this is a sector that has really been struggling to find the workers that it needs.
Yeah, so construction jobs aren't going anywhere. There's still this really strong demand to hire construction workers, specifically on the residential building side of things. About 2,400 jobs were added for residential building in May. So really signaling that manual labor is here to stay. Home builders have struggled to attract talent, retain these workers. So it really suggests that they're likely not going to get rid of these workers, even under a weaker housing market. Plus, employers have also scaled back some of those job listings specifically for construction compared to a year ago. Right. So home builders are really focused right now on finishing up those homes that are under construction, and then starting new ones. We've kind of seen that in the data. Also, the U.S. still has a record number of homes under construction. So that adds a little bit leverage to this picture right now for construction workers. If we take a look at the average hourly earnings, construction workers are currently making about $36 and change. That's about 5% higher than it was a year ago. But the industry still faces major headwinds ahead. There's still a lack of labor candidates. I spoke to quite a few developers that say that they are having a really hard time finding candidates. Sometimes it takes them 6 weeks to 3 months to find one candidate. And so that prolongs also the onboarding process as well.
And also potentially then prolongs the inventory issue that we do have in the housing market today.
So then the question becomes is how many of these new home builders are actually settling on workers that they know very well are not skilled enough to be working on people's houses? Now, this is something that, according to the reviews of current homeowners, is happening across the nation. And I would encourage you guys on your own to do proper research just to verify what we're saying and what these articles are saying. So now what I want to do is let's briefly go over the consumer affairs ratings for the top 3 new home builders in the US, which is D.R. Horton, Lennar, and Pulte. So starting with the number 1 new home builder, D.R. Horton Homes, you guys can see here, and there's numerous review sites, I'm just using consumer affairs, that D.R. Horton has a rating out of 5 stars of 1.5 stars. Now take a look at Lennar. Lennar has a rating out of 5 stars of only 1 star, y'all. And again, if you scroll down and you look at these reviews yourself, you're going to see many of these reviews are actually in the month of June of this year. So these are very recent reviews. Now, the number 3 new home builder, which is Pulte, has only a 1.1 out of 5 star review. Very shocking that the top 3 new home builders have such poor rating. Now, here's a comment right here, again, in June of this year. And I suggest strongly that if you're interested in purchasing new construction, definitely research reviews in that local subdivision and in that area and see what the current homeowners are saying about the quality of construction. And the reality is, guys, there's a reason why there's so much buyer's remorse in the housing market right now. It's out of control, absolutely off the chains right now as far as all of the people that regret buying a house. Now, I'm going to briefly go through another article that's going to list the 10 possible reasons for low quality construction. Starting with number 1, use of low quality material. There's no doubt of that, guys. Obviously, because of the lockdowns and COVIDs, materials were hard to get a hold of. So a lot of people are saying any homes that were built from about 2019 to right now have used low quality materials. Now, number 2 reason, lack of proper site supervision. And I can go into this because I have had boots on the ground videos where I've had construction site managers come up to me and say, please don't film here. We're afraid you're going to catch OSHA violations on camera. Number 3, lack of quality system. Number 4, zero project auditing, which to me stands for lack of accountability. Number 5, poor quality procedure. So the system of quality control is broken. Number 6, no drawing and specs for crew guide. What are they doing? Just throwing people on the house and say, put up the walls and hammer the nails? I mean, this is absolutely insane to me. And you guys, the crazy thing is this is happening right now, right in front of us. Number 7, design complexity. The houses that I've walked, I'm going to tell you right now, most of them have no design complexities. It's just simple houses. And I still see massive issues. Project objectives, which is probably build the house faster, not better. Number 10, the absence of quality policies. So it seems like there's an industry problem and issue with quality control. And it's probably as a result of there's so many people that are desperate to buy a house right now that they're throwing caution to the wind. And these new home builders understand that they can get away with it because we're leaning on them so heavily right now to give us homes. I think that's going to work against them, especially if we keep educating general public of the many potential pitfalls that come with purchasing new homes. Now, we'll end this by digging into this article. Some home builders are cutting corners as demand heats up, and we really need demand to cool down right now. Sewage backups, windows that won't shut, and missing tiles. These are issues that a home buyer might expect from a previously owned home. But they're also cropping up in new construction, according to interviews with several real estate professionals, as builders appear to rush to meet increased demand and close deals as soon as possible. For buyers, those mistakes could derail the mortgage process, and if not caught during an inspection, that could cost buyers thousands of dollars down the road. We've had people interview on our channel. We know this is true. Most buyers assume that a brand new home is perfect. And obviously the suggestion is to get a professional home inspection done because you'd be surprised what the builders miss and what the township or city or county code and compliance inspectors miss. So it sounds like everyone is rushing this process. And really the people that are paying for this are the homeowners, the recent homeowners. Drains that don't drain. As the spring buying season approaches its peak, home buyers faced with few choices on the resale market turned to new build, which represented a third of all for sale inventory, up from the typical 12.7%. And right there, y'all, you should see why we're leaning so heavily on new construction. Roughly 33% of inventory right now are new homes. That's 3 times higher, almost 3 times higher than normal. And yet the quality of construction is the worst it's ever been. Just went through with 2 new build clients, major cutting corners, bad foundation, cabinets falling off the walls, roof leaks, AC problems, and the list goes on. In Pennsylvania, several new building sites have had their share of problems. For instance, improperly installed bedroom walls, insulation, or lack of fiberglass in the attic, which could result in higher utility bills. The past 3 years or so probably have been more new construction inspections than I've done in the past 18 years. That's one development in my area. I think I've done 87 homes there in the past 3 years, and I find the exact same flaws in every single one of those homes. So that's an inspector saying that, hey, A lot more people have started getting new home, not resale, new home inspections. And before COVID, a lot of people that were buying new homes never even did a home inspection. So at least people are starting to find out, and it's very revealing that an inspector that is his job is to inspect properties is saying that the same problem is happening over and over and over again. So if he knows that, if I know that, if you know that, then why wouldn't the home builders know that also? And if they know that, why wouldn't they put procedures and policies in place to help curb so many of these issues? If a buyer doesn't get a new home inspection or an inspector misses an issue, that could be costly for the buyer. Structural issues or missing insulation can run several $1,000s to fix. If a buyer does find out about an issue, some buyers may offer concessions, but buyers shouldn't be afraid to make demands. High cost of constructions, materials supply disruptions, and tightening credit conditions on construction loans brought on by recent banking failures have pressured new construction. A request for comment from the National Association of Home Builders was not returned. On top of that, there is also a deficit of 400,000 workers in the industry, which has resulted in construction delays and higher home building costs. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, they got a massive amount of money built into those houses as far as profit. So it's just in my opinion, it's just more crying. A growing concern for the industry. More than 700 builders, remodelers, and associates related to residential construction also marched on Capitol Hill on June 7th to call attention to the nation's affordability crisis and challenges in home building. The problem is there are subcontractors and they spread thin between all builders and do sloppy work. And that's why I keep telling you guys, when I walk these new construction sites, I see this all the time. Some of the mishaps in new construction could be driven by profit margin pressure from shareholders. Most builders take a construction loan to build a home. So every day that loan stays active, it costs the builder more interest. So they have to sell and they have to finish the construction process. My gut tells me it is them trying to get the time from contract to chasing down. Noting the issues seem to pop up more at end of month and end of quarter closings, which means they're just trying to rush them out at the very end to meet their end of month and quarterly goals. As an industry professional, I can absolutely assure you that's 100% accurate. They absolutely do that. As far as rushing at the very end to close a transaction, they want to sell the house and get paid within hours of getting the certificate of occupancy issued by the city. I didn't see that pressure in previous markets. So in conclusion, this is sad because yes, we do need more inventory. We need a bunch more inventory to come to the market. We're starting to see hyper supply in the new construction field. But the thing is if these homes are falling apart, if they're not up to code, if they're not being worked on and built properly, then that means we don't even have that inventory, because by purchasing those houses, we would be throwing the dice on the biggest financial transaction of our life. If you are interested in purchasing a new home, because maybe some of them are good, what I would do if I'm buying is I would do multiple home inspections throughout the construction process. And if I found anything wrong at all with the house or the process of building, I would immediately bring that to the builder's attention and I would demand them fix it. And another thing, guys, don't go in by yourself. You're going to want representation. I know I talk a little bit of trash about realtors, but the reality is we do need realtors, but we need great and good realtors. So if you go in, remember, if you sign into anything, sometimes the builders will refuse to pay a realtor if you don't have a realtor that first day. And also remember this, they have arbitration. Many of them have arbitration agreements in a special warranty deed, which prohibits you from essentially suing the new home builder. So there's a lot of issues here. And I hope I really brought that to your attention. If you are interested in a new home or you're out there in the housing market, I really hope this helps. And if you guys can, just one more time, like this video. But other than that, guys, I really hope you guys got some value, insights, and perspective. And if you're out there investing in real estate, you know I wish you luck and I hope you win.